Hi, Professor. My name is Raul Peralta Mendoza. I am 31 years old and I am currently at B1 at Secat Corusal. Today, I will be talking about a topic that has sparked a lot of debate in recent years, the legalization of prostitution. I have chosen this topic because of the ongoing discussion surrounding in various countries. People often argue whether prostitution should be legalized or not, and the impact such a decision will have on an individual and society. It's an important topic to discuss because it affects the safety and well-being of those involved in a prostitution and raises important questions about human rights and exploitation. In today's speech, I will first present arguments in favor of legalization, then discuss some counter arguments, and finally share my personal opinion and conclusion. Now, let's look at some reasons why people believe that prostitution should be legalized. One of the most commonly cited reasons is that it will improve safety for sex workers. By legalizing and regulation the industry, prostitutes could work in safer environments, have access to health services, and be protected by labor laws. For example, in countries like New Zealand, where prostitution was decriminalized in 2003, there were improvements in the health and safety of sex workers. A report from the Prostitution Law Review Committee found the decriminalization allowed for better working conditions and increased access to health care. Additionally, legalized prostitution could reduce the stigma that sex workers face, enabling them to report violence and seek help from authorities without fear of being criminalized. I also agree with the argument that legalized prostitution could generate taxes revenue, which could be used to support programs that help vulnerable populations. This could create a more organized system where sex workers are protected by law and can contribute to society. However, there are several strong arguments against the legalization of prostitution, and I want to share them with you now. Research shows that legalizing prostitution doesn't necessarily reduce human trafficking. In fact, some studies suggest that it can lead to an increase in trafficking. For instance, a study with data from 250 countries found the countries where prostitution is legalized report higher rates of human trafficking. Furthermore, Germany's arms report on its 2001 prostitution law found that less than 8% of prostitute individuals were properly insured, suggesting at the size as the system that not protect workers as promised. Additional legalizing prostitution doesn't eliminate the violence that many sex workers face. In fact, in places like New Zealand, even after decriminalization, many prostitute individuals continue to report violence and abuse working conditions. From my perspective, legalizing prostitution could also create a facet of legitimacy for criminal enterprise that exploit vulnerable individuals. This could make it harder to distinguish between voluntary and coerced sex workers. In my opinion, while the legalization of prostitution might seem like a solution to improvise the life of sex workers, the evidence suggests that it may not be the right approach. Instead, I believe that effort should focus on reducing demand through policies like the Nordic model, which criminalizes the buying of sex while discriminates the selling of sex. This model has been shown to discourage prostitution and trafficking by targeting the root cause, the demand for sexual service. To conclude, while the topic of prostitution is complex, my belief is that we must prioritize the safety, dignity, and human rights of all individuals involved. This requires solutions that address both the social and economic factors driving prostitution rather than just legalize it. That's all, Professor. Bye bye.